If you are thinking about applying for recognition of prior learning, I want to explain how the process actually works. Because if anyone tells you that RPL is simply a matter of paying a fee, uploading a few documents, and receiving a qualification quickly, you need to be very careful. And as registered training organisations, we are audited and regulated. That means we must be able to show that every qualification or unit we issue has been assessed properly, supported by evidence, and verified where required. So at Traxion Training, our RPL process is designed to collect evidence in different forms. Why? Because your evidence can not only come from you, it needs to be checked, it needs to be verified. That is why our RPL kit has 4 key sections. The first section is what we call the Section A, Self-Reflection Questionnaire. This is where you complete a list of questions for every unit you are seeking recognition in. These questions are designed to help you think carefully about whether you have real workplace experience in each area required by the unit. Think of it like a detailed self-reflection survey. You are telling us, have you done this before? Have you performed this task in the workplace? Have you applied this knowledge? Can you provide examples? Do you have evidence to support it? Now, this part is very important. If you tell us that you have no experience in a particular unit, then you will not be able to receive recognition for the full qualification. You may still be eligible for recognition in some units, but not necessarily the entire qualification. That is why Section A is such an important first step. It helps both you and our team understand whether RPL is actually the right pathway for you. The second section is Section B, Workplace Documents and Work Samples. This is where we collect evidence that supports what you have told us in Section A. This may include things like proof of employment, employment contracts, workplace policies and procedures, documents you have created or contributed to, work samples that show what you actually do in your role. For example, if you are a support worker, this could include documents such as care notes, individual support plans, progress notes, or workplace forms. If you are working in education or childcare, this may include things like lesson plans, activity plans, observations, learning documentation, or communication with families and colleagues. Of course, privacy is extremely important. You should never submit confidential client or workplace information in a way that breaches privacy. Where needed, information should be de-identified. And where real workplace samples cannot be provided, we may guide you through suitable simulated workplace templates or mock-up documents, depending on the unit requirements. This is important because assessment requirements often require workplace evidence or simulated workplace evidence. The third section is the Section C, Competency, Conversation and Observation. This is where we speak with you directly and assess your knowledge and skills further. In some cases, we need to ask you questions about your work. In some cases, we need you to explain how you perform certain tasks. And in many cases, we need to observe you demonstrating specific skills. This may happen through video conferencing, in person, or through an approved simulated workplace environment. The fourth section is Section D, Employer Verification. This is where we contact, interview, or receive reports from someone who has directly observed your work. This could be your employer, your supervisor, your team leader, or another suitable workplace representative who understands your role and can verify your skills. They need to be someone who has a direct reporting relationship with you, or someone who has properly observed and evaluated your work performance. We do not just hand them a form and leave them confused. We explain what is required and help them understand how to provide meaningful verification. This allows us to check that they are an appropriate person to verify your skills and that their feedback is consistent with the evidence you have provided. So when you look at the full RPL process, it is not just one document, it is not just a conversation, and it is not just an employer letter, it is a combination of evidence. That is how we make sure the RPL process is fair, valid, and reliable. To inquire about RPL with Traxion Training, contact rpl.application@traxiontraining.edu.au or call us on 0468 058 881.